like champions. The amazing Leicester City.
Welcome along to the 5,000-to-1 anniversary match here at King Power Stadium in support of the VS Foundation. We are, of course, 10 years on from the miracle that was Leicester City winning the Premier League. And who better to have on the sofa as we build up to this game than the man who captained that team and lifted that trophy to his left there, Wes Morgan. Wes, welcome along. Always great to have you here. How are you feeling? It's a pretty special time to look back on, isn't it? And this will be a special day, this game.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 10 years, to be honest. It feels like yesterday a little bit that, was on the pitch and I got my hands on the trophy. But yeah, time's gone by and, it's only fitting that we remember the time. It's 10 years on and it was such a big moment in Leicester City's history. So I'm glad we're obviously celebrating that time.
Quite simply put, is it the best moment of your life? That moment when you were on the pitch and you got your hands on it?
Best moment of my life. It's
Certainly
definitely up there.
footballing.
I think football-wise, 100%. Obviously, you got your kids being born and things like that. But in terms of football, especially me with my career and kind of the journey I've been on to get to the kind of the highest peak of the football pyramid and to get your hands on the trophy is it's something I never thought was possible, but it happened, and it's definitely the best moment in my career.
How many times do you reckon you've watched this clip back?
You never get bored of it. It's such a special moment, and everything about that day, you can see the fireworks there, you can see the streams, you can see the confetti. Everything about that day was geared up to that moment.
Yeah.
So to finally, we was confirmed champions, but to actually get on the pitch, play the game, and then walk on that carpet, leading up to the stage and get your hands on that trophy, was the ultimate moment, I think, in not just my career, but kind of Leicester's history and in the Premier League history.
Absolutely. And then this game today, obviously, there's a lot of those old faces that you'll be seeing again. I'm sure you're all kind of in touch here and there, aren't you, with each other? But to get pretty much all of you, most of you back together again for this it must be quite special for you personally, let alone from a footballing point of view.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. We're in group chats, we cross paths from time to time, but to have the majority of everyone there together is special. I'm sure there's going to be a few beers, there's going to be a few laughs, there'll be lots of reminiscing, but we can't wait to get together. I'm involved with the chats at the moment and there's a lot of banter already being sparked, so it's going to be an enjoyable weekend. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
I think the whole point of that team and what made you so successful was your team spirit, wasn't it? And you say you can already feel that again, even though it was 10 years ago and you've got pretty much everyone back together. That same spirit is there. You'll be bonded for life, won't you, obviously?
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a special time we went through together. Everyone contributed in one way or another. We stay in touch. We just don't see each other often, but we do stay in touch, and we talk a lot about obviously the good old times and football, but to actually be face to face and really be in each other's presence and to see some of the staff that was involved in that time, can't wait for it to happen and is to get together.
Right, let's take a look back at some of the moments then in that season for you personally. There were the 2 goals, of course. Obviously, that Man United goal at the time was huge, wasn't it? Is that, in terms of on the pitch, football-wise, the biggest moment for you? Do you think was it scoring that goal?
Yeah, in the context of the season, got 2 goals that season. One was against Southampton, which was an important goal. But the Man United one is definitely one of the biggest goals in my career because of the significance of the goal, knowing that if we won that game, we, more or less champions. But to get that goal, come away from the game with a draw, and that point eventually being enough to make us champions is special, really, really special. And I don't score many goals, so to score at Old Trafford makes it extra special. So really enjoyed that moment. It was it was, yeah, you can see me pointing, and I'm pointing to my mum at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who don't come to many games, so it was fitting that she was there at the game. And yeah, special moment.
And it was that end as well. Because actually before that Southampton goal, obviously you'd not scored in the season. Your job rather, was to keep the ball out the net, but you must have thought, I want to get at least one here in this momentous season.
Yeah, I think in general, my kind of goals throughout the season, if I can get 1 or 2 goals, as a defender, my job is to keep clean sheets, but I can contribute with the goals, 1 or 2 a season. It's kind of my general goal, I know some big important goals in that season. I scored 2. Both goals are important, but obviously the one against Man United under the circumstances was definitely a big goal and a big moment.
Yeah, well that draw meant then the game on the Monday, Chelsea-Tottenham, you were all watching it at a certain person's house, weren't you, at Jamie Vardy's for the party. And when that Eden Hazard goal went in and when the full-time whistle went, we've seen the celebrations. What was that moment like for you?
That moment, especially when Chelsea equalised and we're so close to kind of everyone's ultimate dream, it's hard to describe. You're just ecstatic, you're just in shock, you just can't believe this has actually happened. This is Leicester City. We almost got relegated the season before. And now look at us, we're Premier League champions. It's beyond words. It really is beyond words, and we really did celebrate. We really did celebrate hard. Obviously, it was all at Jamie Vardy's house, and fantastic that we all came together to watch, obviously, the game. The first half didn't go too well, but the second half was exactly what we wanted. And yeah, we celebrated hard that evening and for the upcoming weeks as well.
Yeah. When did the celebration stop that night? Morning, obviously. But
I'll be honest, I've got a bit of a memory loss from that night, to be honest. I remember, I think there was something in the paper where I was pictured the night before, and the same night I was in the same clothes, the same jacket on, heading into the training ground. So yeah, I think I went into the town, had some drinks with some of the boys, enjoyed the moment with the fans as well. I brought everyone a shot. I think it was a Jaeger bomb in one of the bars, and just really enjoyed the time. Yeah, and like I said, the celebrations went on and on beyond that night and lasted a few weeks.
Yeah, and obviously Victoria Park and everything that happened there with the parade, these were all huge celebrations again. And we imagine obviously Leicester fans that are watching this now, so many of them will have been there, whether they were here for the Everton game, whether they were at the parades. These are all moments and memories that will last with not just you, but every single Leicester supporter. I mean, look at that for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And Leicester done a fantastic job of all the organisation and making it as special as it could be. Just everything from the bus, coming onto the bus and the horde of fans, and obviously you'd have seen images of the Victoria Park, and the turnout was incredible. And I think looking at the fans, there wasn't just Leicester City fans, there was fans from all over that just wanted to be there on that day and sharing that moment, which made it extra special. And I think if everyone except a Tottenham fan wanted Leicester City to win that season, so it was good to have that backing, and everyone really got involved and enjoyed that day and that parade.
Yeah, how nice will it be to step out onto the pitch here at King Power Stadium again, in front of Leicester fans again, who will all be here for the same sort of celebrations?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Not been back on the pitch for a long time now, so it'll be good to get back out there on the King Power, see our fans again, and just enjoy the day. It's going to be great being with your old teammates. I'm sure we'll be taking the mickey a little bit out of everyone if everyone's probably put on a bit of weight or kind of lost their touch a little bit, but it's all a part of the day, and I'm sure the fans coming along will enjoy seeing us back out there on the pitch and just enjoying the day and remembering the moment.
Yeah, and certain partnerships being reignited as well at the back. That'll be fun to see.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of the same from the back guys anyway. Me shouting at, but no, it'll be a lot of the kind of the same. I'm sure it won't take us too long to to kind of snap back into that game mentality.
You'll want to win.
Exactly. It won't take us long to snap back into that game mentality and everyone like, come on, help your game and stuff, because we're all still competitive in our own ways.
Yeah, obviously the day is also quite important because it is in support of the VS Foundation, raising money, of course, for that. And you've been at a number of events in the past couple of weeks. There was an event at the stadium for the community, for young people, about resilience, Silver Foxes, and another event that you went to that's all put on by Leicester City and the community, one of the arms, of course, of the VS Foundation. So we're urging people to donate to the VS Foundation because they do so much good work, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in recent weeks, I've had the pleasure of kind of doing lots of stuff with the community and for the foundation. And when you hear people's stories and how we've helped them, it really is fantastic and so important. You know, there's a lot of people in the community that don't have any support. You know, so any donations or any contributions is more than welcome. Yeah,
I think a good example is the Silver Foxes one that you went to. There's so many people there that if it wasn't for that, and they get their money, a lot of their money from the VS Foundation, of course, these people would be isolated. They'd have nothing, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you know, and that was interesting, obviously, joining that day with the Silver Foxes and hearing their stories. You know, they're senior citizens and they really do struggle to, you know, attend games or get from one end of the city to the other, you know. And what that foundation did is donate a minibus to help those people involved with the Silver Foxes, which is fantastic. It's really helpful, and I know they really appreciated it. So there's many examples of good work that's happened, and that's just one of them.
Yeah. Just finally, before we hand over, obviously you've got to get yourself ready. I mean, seeing that trophy again in person, you'll be seeing it out there on the pitch again. What's it going to mean to you, do you think, when you're out there? 10 years is a long time, but also it maybe feels like yesterday as well to you?
Yeah, it really does, because constantly, every season, we're reminded, you know, because it was such a momentous achievement. Every season we're reminded welcomely about what we did. But obviously, to say it's 10 years, you know, we really need to celebrate it the right way, and hopefully the trophy might make its way out onto the pitch and maybe a round two lifting the trophy. You never know.
You never know. You just want that moment again, don't you?
I just want to relive that moment and yeah, relived all the fantastic memories.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Wes. Good luck in the game. Coming up next, we have the full game available for you. And as we were just discussing there, this game is in support of the VS Foundation. So please do donate towards that. It is a fantastic cause. Here's a little example of some of the great work that the VS Foundation's money can do in the community.
This is classed as like one of the most disadvantaged areas in Leicester.
High crime, high unemployment, and I suppose what we try and do is provide a bit of hope for people.
I have mental health issues and this helps. If I wasn't injured, I'd be playing.
Leicester City in the community exists to support underrepresented groups. You come and work in areas like this, there's some great people, there's people who really want to get on in life, and what we do is try and just give them a bit of a stepping stone to help them get where they want to be. So what we've done great in this area, we've provided opportunities for people to get employment with us, volunteering opportunities, upskill, and then really just feel part of something at Leicester City in the community.
I started meeting with Matt Bray throughout when this pitch was being built, and he liked what I was doing. So he said, come do some volunteering for me. And then it bloomed into a job where he put me through my reffing course, my coaching course. I've had excellent opportunities. If it wasn't for Leicester City, I'd never have none of that. And I'm really grateful.
It's all about getting girls that don't usually play football or not for a team to come and try the sport for the very first time. Some of them have never even tried to kick a football in their life, and now, as you can see, they all take part, whether it's just for 10 minutes or the whole time. They always all take part. To be able to come to this pitch, free access whenever I like, and have a girls only session where I felt included, it was so important.
35 plus group, love it. And Maciek, it's one of them, Bandy, Nathan, Sean, a lot of them are here playing now. Some of them travel from Enderby, Wigston, all round to come and play, because there's nothing like that in them areas. The wide range stuff we actually do weight loss league with kick sessions, ladies only sessions, we do camps. There's a long list of things that we all get involved in. So it's built up that rapport with the community, like I have, Matt has, Kyle has, and Caitlin. Some people don't do nothing for themselves. If they don't do something, you're going to end up exploding. So this sort of opens that of, my space, it's only an hour, but it's better than nothing. Because the kids need it. There's nothing, I'm not being funny, there's nothing around here for the children, because it hopefully keeps them off the street and from causing trouble. You can't save every child from wanting to cause trouble, but you won't, I tell you now, you drive down the boulevard, you won't see this pitch empty. And if it is, it's during school time.
I grew up in this area myself, and so I think it's really important just to like have these guys for 3 hours in a safe space. Not only have they like made a future for me, they've made a future for so many other people, whether that's just making them have better mental health or actually giving them a job. Like, I think that's really important.
I lost my wife, she's 59, destroyed me really. And then doing walking football, which is, it's just brilliant. Yeah, it's been really help for me anyway, yeah.
Today we've got walking football at Holmes Park. It's for people aged 55 and over, just to come out, get active, make new friends and enjoy being out in the good outdoors. They might be at home all day, have nothing to do, but I mean, just looking at it today, they all look forward to coming out on a Tuesday, meeting the friends that they've made, and the same for the sessions that we have on the Monday night, Wednesday and a Thursday also.
I joined just after COVID, started coming to walking football just after COVID. Couldn't believe how much was done, and I think it's wonderful. It's so good for you mentally, physically. Yeah, and I'm lucky, I'm married and I've got a good family, and so I never suffer from those things, but I know plenty of people who do, and I know they appreciate it really well.
We're all old, but at least we get about and have a go. And I'd say to anybody who's in the same situation, just come down and have a go, because it's more than football. Yeah, brilliant.
We think it's extremely valuable. The amount of people that we have coming to the sessions, and the background of how they talk to each other in the WhatsApp group, they've made friends for life, they go out with each other of an evening, and it's just a really nice social session that everyone can join in.
It just makes my week really special, because I'm meeting lots of friends and going out there and enjoying it, doing things that, again, I never thought I'd do at this age in life.
I mean, I've got loads of mates now. I mean, on your birthday, oh my word, your phone don't stop going. You know, happy birthday, happy birthday. Yeah, it's fantastic. Just can't praise it enough. All Leicester City for what they do. Leicester's really special, I think. Yeah.
Community. If you can, please donate using the details on your screen, no matter how big or small, and once again be part of what is a very special day. Welcome live to Fox's Hub, live here at King Power Stadium, a day of celebration as Leicester City celebrate 10 years since that 5,001 achievement of winning the Premier League. As you can see around the stadium as we speak, we are looking back on the big screens of key moments from that epic season where dreams were made and dreams were realised, with the backdrop of Andrea Bocelli on that day where he took to the field here at King Power Stadium in the centre circle alongside manager Claudio Ranieri. and gave his rendition live in front of a very emotional crowd on what will remain one of the greatest days in Leicester City history, when they were crowned champions of the Premier League. The supporters enjoying the Leicestershire sunshine, decked out in their retro shirts, many from that famous season. And most of the players, if not all of the players involved today in Leicester City Blue, are stood midway inside the half that they're currently warming up and just gazing at the screens. No doubt they have relived these memories so many times over the 10 years that have passed, but no harm in reliving them once again. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It is a day of celebration and a day of raising funds for charity. The VS Foundation. Donate if you can. Every little helps as Leicester City Legends take on an all-star 11 managed by Tony Pulis. The applause is ringing out around King Power Stadium as everyone takes in the sights that they are seeing on that big screen. And an even bigger round of applause is for the GOAT, Jamie Vardy, who, as you can see, has made his way onto the field after a season in Italy with Cremonese. And he's been greeted by former teammates, his friends. But he celebrated that season with a special season for him, not only lifting the title, not only scoring so many goals, but of course the famous 11. 11 was heaven for Jamie Vardy. Definitely decked out for the sun, shades complementing the shortened t-shirt combo. Other players involved out there, Damari Gray, still contracted to unable to play today. Kasper Schmeichel, the goalkeeper throughout that epic season, didn't miss a game. Not able to be involved due to his shoulder injury, and only this week announcing his retirement from the game. In terms of the All-Stars 11, they're warming up to the right side in front of the family stand, bathed in sunshine. As I walked through the tunnel, there was definite request of sun cream, and there was a definite stench of Raljex as some of the older limbs have been warmed up ahead of a 90-minute game in searing heat. As you can see, the players are starting to depart from the field. There'll be a few last-minute team talks from the managers of either side. For Leicester, it is Claudio Ranieri, of course, and as I mentioned, for the All-Star 11, it is Tony Pulis. Kasper Schmeichel and Jamie Vardy deep in conversation on the halfway line as the coaching staffs from both sides start to pick up the water bottles that have been left strewn on the ground. No doubt the masseurs will be in action just to warm up those limbs once more before the two teams start to head out onto the field. Various shades of blue, various retro kits from down the ages in amongst the supporters in the stands. I'm pleased to say, is it the modern term, is a collaboration, Fox's Hub and BBC Radio Leicester, arm in arm this afternoon for what is a special occasion. Delighted to be joined by the main man of BBC Radio Leicester, Owen Palmer-Apkin, who is alongside me today. In the searing sunshine, we're just seeing Owen, Kasper Schmeichel and Jamie Vardy. I was mentioning there is a stench of Raljex in the tunnel, and there are last-minute calls for some sun cream as well for some of the older players here today. This is going to be a bit of a stern test, but around the crowd, everyone looking forward to a special day. Yeah, I think when everyone is looking around at those big screens away to our left and right-hand side above those stands and taking a few moments to actually just take in and soak up that incredible day from 10 years ago. I think there is maybe a bit of a double plus for them. They get to take it in, but also they get to take a bit of a break from the warm-ups in this blistering heat, as you mentioned, John. So I think everyone looking forward to it. The players have headed back to the tunnel. Last-minute team talks, if there is such a thing, before a charity game. For you, Owen, as a I suppose, well, as a Leicester fan, has this week brought back memories for you? The club have been putting out various videos we've just seen on the big screen, and we're still seeing them now. Key moments from that season.
Yeah, I think so. I think whenever it gets to this time of year, regardless of whether it was a year after, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10, and it will do all the way to kind of 50 years on as well, I think, John, that actually it will always bring back those memories for Leicester City fans, for everyone who is associated with the club, for everyone in world football really that saw it happen from like a wider sphere as well. It was such an incredible story. So I think seeing the kind of behind the scenes things as well, it's quite good to see this week, and it brings back all those memories.
The other thing that's been brought back is the pitch markings, clearly banned now in the EFL and the Premier League. Leicester led the way with some pretty jazzy designs, and today as we look down, you might just see them on the screen, a kind of a diamond shape. There's a couple of stars, and if you look really, really closely, there's a couple of foxes' heads that have been placed on the perimeter of the pitch as well. Proper throwback.
It certainly is, and actually you can't fault the way in which this pitch looks, even at this stage. I mean, this has had a full championship season plus all the cup games as well on it this campaign, and it still looks in really good nick. And it's good to see the pitch markings back, as you rightly say, John, because they were such a big part of the kind of story that went along with Leicester City winning that Premier League title 10 years ago.
Every now and again there is a burst of applause. The latest one is because the Birch cap firmly placed on his head to keep that away from the searing heat above him, and he's going to give us a few words which hopefully we can hear. Well, that was the Birch, a Leicester City legend. As I say that, one of his famous goals appears on the big screen as he slams one in from 25 yards. And we remember again, Owen, the pictures when Birch, with a beaming smile, brought the trophy out ahead of the trophy lift. And it's so good to see him here today as well.
Yeah, don't mention 25 yards to Birch. He'll say more like 40, 50. I think it gets further out every time you talk to him, doesn't he? That incredible goal. And yeah, again, such an iconic legend of Leicester City, and rightly so as well. And it's good to see him involved in this kind of game. It's good to see him back out and always in good spirits, the Birch. I'm sure he'll be really enjoying getting amongst some of the former players that are here today, and giving them a bit of stick as well.
The X-rated banter will have been flying. Now I'm led to believe the Leicester players, maybe by Birch, will be introduced one by one to a bit of a fanfare, to fireworks. And I can just kind of peer down the tunnel. There's certainly a lot of activity going on there. And we can see the big flags being waved, with Philbert the Fox positioned on the centre spots, as well as the players involved, a number of Leicester City legends in and around the corporate areas. including Fox's hub favourite Matt Elliott, who was certainly making the most of the buffet. He's told me exactly what was there, which has left the mouth watering as we look at some other iconic images on the big screen. As Owen mentioned, the pitch is in perfect condition. And in terms of the players lined up on that Leicester City Legends side, Owen, who in particular are you looking forward to seeing today?
Well, I mean, it's always good to see, hopefully, that rekindling of that centre-half partnership between Wes Morgan and Robert Huth. Drinkwater pulling the strings in midfield again. I mean, there's so many on there, and Andy King, I think, is probably a really good one to have in the middle of the park. You see him running around Seagrave ahead of press conferences, and he's kept himself fighting fit as well, so I think he'll probably still have it. And Mark Albrighton on the right-hand side. Well, I mean, we could keep going on and on and on. I'm sure Mark Albrighton, I'm sure, will be able to even whip a cross into Jamie Vardy in the stands today. I mean, that's the kind of telekinesis they have between them.
I think Mark Albrighton, you can point me in the right direction. He was playing in a sevens tournament within the last couple of weeks, so yeah. He, and you can tell by looking at him, he looks as fit as a fiddle, could still play. Yeah, and scored in that sevens tournament. I think it was in Singapore, so he's been globe-trotting, has Mark Albrighton. Was also, I think, doing some media duties at the Aston Villa Europa League final as well, so keeping himself very much within the game, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely buzzing, as I'm sure most of these guys are, you know, to step out back onto this pitch where they made so many incredible memories, and will go down as an iconic Leicester City squad forever. I mentioned Matt Elliott. He looked at the squad list of the All-Star 11, and speaking very much as a centre-half, he just said, who do I not fancy playing against? And he picked out Shane Long and Dwight Gale, still in their 30s, diminutive figures, probably still got a bit of pace. And you mentioned Wes Morgan and Robert Huth. They might not be looking forward to those two in particular. Might fancy Troy Deeney, though.
I'm sure they will. A battle between Wes Morgan and Troy Deeney, I think, might be one for the ages, maybe, rolling it all the way back to, what was it now, 2013. And when that famous goal happened, I mean, Wes Hoolahan in the midfield, I'm sure will still be able to perform a little bit of trickery, twists and turns. So I think it will be, a competitive game this afternoon, John, to be honest. I think there's still plenty of quality out there. Liam Moore still very much playing in the non-league of English football as well. So maybe a few points to prove.
You do see, don't you, when these Legends games takes place of any kind of vintage, that winning mentality never really leaves, and I'll predict, hopefully kept true, you will see a few tasty challenges. You will see players that will have the will to win and will do pretty much anything today to try and get that win, no matter what is involved in terms of the charity and the feeling of today. They never lose that spark.
Well, once they step over that white line, John, it's kind of built into them, isn't it, that they have to go and win. And I don't believe for one second that, again, Robert Huth, Wes Morgan, Marcin Bozalewski, Johan Ben Arwan won't want to kind of put the challenges in and won't want to kind of shift back into their professional mindset. I actually had a bit of a chat with Robert Huth earlier in the week, and he was talking about how he was really looking forward to seeing everyone, not looking forward as much to putting his boots back on. He said it's been a while since he played, so maybe we'll have to give him the benefit of the doubt for the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, we're seeing the All-Stars 11 lining up alongside the match officials while we await for the Leicester City Legends team. So the All-Stars team, a team with a strong Stoke and West Brom link, as you would expect, with Tony Pulis in charge. There's links as well with Ireland and Withenshaw, but we'll probably get into that during the commentary. Former Leicester defender Gareth McCauley is in the starting 11, and now we welcome the manager of that title-winning season, Claudio Ranieri, to applause and fireworks. And now the Leicester players will be introduced one by one onto the field as Claudio Ranieri waves. Warm-up in the country, it's just got a bit warmer with those flames being flung into the air. Memories made by the supporters around the stadium. Rock on Tommy indeed. There is the Birch just rallying the crowd one more time as the two sets of players reintroduce themselves to each other. So the Leicester team, key figures from that title-winning squad involved today, including Captain Morgan and his defensive partner Robert Huth. City legend Andy King, winning titles in League One, the Championship and the Premier League. Mark Albrighton involved as well. In terms of the All-Stars, as we mentioned, there is a strong link with Stoke and West Brom. That's probably due to Tony Pulis being in charge. There's an Irish link in there as well. Former Leicester defender Gareth McCauley is in the starting 11 for the All-Stars side. Certainly got a bit of power on the bench. Troy Deeney and Dwight Gale in reserve should they need it. I suppose one advantage, Owen, for Leicester is they've got a couple more players in their squad than the All-Star 11, so that might just favour them in the heat.
Yeah, I think so. Claudio Ranieri, the tinker man, will be able to tinker a little bit today, won't he, with a very, very big squad. I'm sure there'll be a few bodies out there that might require a bit of a rest and a bit of a drink after a few minutes, John, because I walked round the edge of the pitch just on my way up to the gantry here, and it is very, very hot down there.
The players preparing themselves, limbering up the limbs one more time as we celebrate 10 years since a title trophy lift of the Premier League, the most unlikeliest of stories, a fairy tale, and a decade on. Leicester City's astonishing Premier League title win, feat of 2016, still shines bright in the rich tapestry of football. Remember, as well as celebrating that 10 years, this is all about raising money for charity, for the VS Foundation, and we welcome your donations, however big, however small. It will play a part and have an impact in the local Leicestershire community. The other advantage for Leicester, they've got two goalkeepers, as we can see, as they line up for the team picture. Ben Hamer and long-serving goalkeeper Conrad Logan. It's Ben Hamer that will start the game in goal. Claudio Ranieri keeping his starting 11 quite close to his chest. We weren't aware of that, so we're all going to find out live here in terms of what that starting 11 will be, but we're assuming Morgan, Huth, Fuchs, King, Albrighton will probably start in the game. Claudio Ranieri stood arms crossed looking up, as we saw him do so many times, Owen, in that season. It's almost a familiar sight to see him there just gazing into the skies.
Yeah, it doesn't look too out of place, does it, when Claudio Ranieri stands in that home dugout at King Power Stadium. He fits it very, very well, and in that traditional suit as well that Leicester fans all so fondly remember. I think he'll be enjoying his time back out there today, and particularly as well to select some of his old players too and see them playing on this surface once more.
Well, it looks like Nugent and Ajoa will be the front pairing, and a back four of Amati, Morgan, Huth and Fuchs. Almost has the right ring to it. And then on this near side, it's like Jeff Schlupp will play on the right-hand side of midfield. Drinkwater and King in midfield. Albrighton on the left, that feels right. And Ajoa and Nugent up front. We'll expect maybe a slightly slower pace based on age and weather, Owen.
Yeah, although I think when David Nugent starts to get into it, still a player coach, isn't he, at Anstey Nomads locally. And knowing Nuge, I think he'll very quickly forget that he's now retired as a footballer, and will do his best to really start to close down. Still very fit.
41 years of age, David Nugent. There is quite a bit of a non-league link. I mentioned Withenshaw, a few of the players that have started playing there in the northwest, but Conrad Logan, David Nugent have certainly galvanised Aston Nomads, it seems, Owen, and that's kind of a club that Leicester fans have started keeping an eye on.
Yeah, they certainly have, and having Conrad Logan, who was their #1 for a couple of seasons, and then moving into the manager role, bringing in David Nugent as well, it just adds a little bit of something special, I think, to Anstey Nomads, and putting themselves on the map with some good performances this season. Another good campaign for them.
Here is the All-Stars in all white, looking to come forward. Charlie Daniels is on his left-hand side, part of the Watford coaching team at the moment. Here's Gareth McCauley, formerly of Leicester, Northern Ireland international. Probably made his name Premier League-wise in a 7-year spell with West Brom, had a couple of years with Leicester, and it's Macaulay in a right wing position at the minute. Ball forward from Stephen Davis, he's overhit, and Robert Hoof will be glad to see that roll through to Ben Hamer, 38 years of age, the South-West-born goalkeeper who joined Leicester in the summer of 24 from Charlton and played in the Champions League as well the season after the title win in the defeat to Porto. A few Premier League appearances later on before departing Leicester City. And it is that slower start to the game that we expected. Scorching temperatures in Leicestershire. Here's Danny Drinkwater, wears number 4, and will look to marshal things in midfield. Daniel Amate on this near side will look to come forward. Amate, who joined in the January of the title-winning season from Copenhagen, where he was already a Danish champion, a handful of appearances on the way to Leicester winning the Premier League.
See the impetus, can't you, from Christian Fuchs. Initially when he first got on the ball, he was throwing his arms as if to say, someone run into the channel.
He's king. He was looking for Vardy, wasn't he? We've seen that a few times. There's Mark Albrighton, trademark to this near side. Amartey's header had gone out of play, and the initial excitement is quickly quelled.
David Nugent thought he was getting a diving header tap in there. Knows all about tap-ins. Former England international.
John Brooks is the referee, by the way, locally from Melton Mowbray. Short trip for him this afternoon. Here's Jeff Schlupp. Drinkwater to Nugent. Well, he's not going to score from there. He swings across. Maybe something from the throw that Leicester have won.
Schlupp actually part of Championship squads this season that Leicester City played against at Norwich as well, so maybe a player that Claudio Ranieri might be relying on to play a few extra minutes today, John.
Young Player of the Year in the title-winning season, Jeff Schlupp. Scored just the 1 goal, but how crucial it could have been, a 2-1 win at Norwich, which is the team, as Owen mentioned, he left in the summer. Amate loses possession. Morgan on hand, ever reliable.
So many familiar movements on the ball, aren't there? You can tell when Wes Morgan is spinning on the ball that it's Big Wes.
Muscle memory from Christian Fuchs, throws one down the left wing, just looking for Mark Albrighton. Of course, famously didn't start that season as first choice. It was the 8th game in before he made his first start of the season. Never looked back since. Rare goals during his Leicester time, but my word, the 3 that he scored were absolute crackers.
I don't think anyone in the stadium or any Leicester fan will ever forget that goal against Sevilla in the Champions League. One of those moments that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
This is Stephen Davis. He's been able to carry the ball some distance before releasing it to Charlie Daniels, the former Bournemouth man, with a left-footed cross, and might say this a few times today. Header clear by Wes Morgan.
I think so.
And now Albrighton looked up. He looked for the trademark Vardy run, but it was David Nugent instead, and that sounds really harsh on David Nugent, and certainly wasn't meant that way at all. And Fox's hub regular, of course. Now here's Leo Ajoa in a pocket of space. Albrighton to Drinkwater, to Albrighton, to King. Run at the far post by Ajoa, and he might just get that. Bounced over his knee and out for a goal kick. First promising move of the game comes 6 minutes in.
And Andy King showcasing his ability still very much on the ball. You give him that kind of space to pick his spot inside the penalty area, he will deliver with quality, and did on that occasion. Ajoa just couldn't quite get his feet sorted out, could he? To make a meaningful impact on goal.
And Leicester are coming forward again, and Nugent decides that was worth a dip. From the edge of the area, weighed up the options, and shooting was the better one. And it was a fierce strike that just looped over the bar, did take a deflection, and we've got the first corner of the game.
Didn't need a second invitation, didn't he? Stepped in, opened up, used the runs as a dummy.
Scored 20 goals in the Championship title win in 2014. His last Leicester goal was in the Great Escape, that iconic game at West Brom. It made Leicester believe, as Albrighton, right-footed, will swing in a dangerous ball, and Morgan was there, but it was a header slightly off target. And Albrighton has still got the kind of delivery that Wes Morgan will be looking for throughout the remainder of the game.
Another defender who might be looking for those deliveries as well is Robert Huth. Never scored at King Power Stadium. He was hoping that Claudio Ranieri might give him a stint up front today, John.
There's a chase on here. Morgan just about the favourite. He was up against Dan Gosling. Gosling certainly had the age advantage at 36. That feels a bit unkind on Wes Morgan. Now at 42. Fuchs, a glance into the box. A clearance to the edge of the area. And a decent effort from Jeff Schlupp. Left-footed, wide of the target, and fair to say Leicester will be enjoying the start they've made to this game.
Yeah, I think they're very much on top, aren't they? I think you can tell that it is a group of players that know each other quite well. They seem to have almost seamlessly dropped back into form.
Andy King spotting an opportunity as well. In fact, Albrighton stepping into the centre of the field. Big European goals against Bruges. And the one here, of course, against Sevilla. Right-footed, drifting in from the left. Just off target, but as Owen said, it's Leicester that are bossing this game. Martin being pulled back by Shane Long.
Trademark Shane Long, I think.
A couple of spells at Reading, in between that, West Brom. His big spell was at Southampton, Republic of Ireland international. Did score here for Southampton, January 2019 in a 2-1 Southampton win. Fuchs getting forward again, whipping in a ball, and that was an important header from Eric Peters, the former Stoke defender, and Leicester have got themselves another corner. It just feels like that goal is coming.
Yeah, Ujo are picking up some really good spaces inside the area, and the deliveries have been pretty decent as well so far. When you do have players like Drinkwater, Albrighton, King in the team, you know the deliveries will be good.
The first rendition of Mark Albrighton's song rings around this near side of the grounds. The delivery not quite as good as the first. And a chance for the All-Star side to come forward here. With Joel Ward, who like Albrighton with Villa. Joel Ward was on European pundit duty during the week for Crystal Palace. His cross, he'll be disappointed no one joined him. And then as it's pinged back in from the far side, it will roll all the way through and out for a throw.
Fleet of foot there for Joel Ward. Got himself away. I think you can begin to see the players that have played pretty recently.
Ward was at Swansea for the second half of last season, just 36 years of age. Davis, who was part of Blackburn's coaching staff in the second half of last season, along with Michael O'Neill. Speaking of spaces, Dan Gosling just picking up that pocket, and Charlie Daniels on this left side. Both of those involved with the Watford coaching staff, and it's the cross from Daniels that is gathered by Ben Hamer. And it's quickly rolled out to Drinkwater. Joa scored that famous earthquake goal in the 2-2 draw against West Ham here in the closing stages of the title-winning season.
Big goal. Just when the pressure was really starting to set in externally, at least on Leicester City, to come up with the goods like that and cause an earthquake in the process, John. Some going.
And again, as soon as you say it, you picture it, and we'll probably have a few of those moments throughout the afternoon as Albrighton starts to jink in field again, which leaves space on that far side. Joa forward, Nugent forward. And for a goal kick, there is a lot of defensive work for the All-Stars team at the minute. Strange to see Tony Pulis sat in the dugout, not on the edge of the area, screaming at his players. Quite a composed Tony Pulis at 68 years of age from the man we saw on the touchline prowling, particularly with Stoke.
Yeah, it feels a little strange, doesn't it?
At least he's got the baseball cap on. I was worried earlier he didn't have it, but he's found one. But unfortunately hasn't raided the Leicester club shop.
It wouldn't be Tony Pulis without a baseball cap, would it?
Played Leicester 15 times as a manager, winning 4 of them. That was with 3 different clubs, Plymouth, Stoke and West Brom. Long is offside, but it was a delicate lob by the Irishman who grew up playing hurling and football. Could have got in either career path. Football was the way he went as Claudio Ranieri steps forward to issue instructions, but probably just to milk a bit more applause, and why not?
And if there's any Leicester City manager that deserves it, it probably would be Claudio.
74 years of age, did come out of retirement to take charge of Roma for a second time. There's Macaulay. Davis. Davis again, feels like he might be the key man in the All-Stars midfield as Joa nudges Davis to the ground, and John Brooks, the local referee, providing the free kick. Daniel spotting the run of Long, still got that burst of pace. Shane Long approaching 40. Nearly 90 caps for the Republic of Ireland. Here's Fuchs again. Stepped into the managerial role with Newport last season, kept them up on the final day. Nugent, back to Fuchs, Joa lurking. It's a diving save by Luke Steele in the All-Stars goal.
So get the sense that Leonardo Ulloa has that predatory instinct, can't you? Picks up some really good positions inside the penalty area. It won't be long before one of those crosses will land on his head, and I'm sure when that is the case, it will end up in the back of the net.
Such a key player at the end of that season, 3 goals in the last 4 games that he took part in to edge Leicester over the line to seal the title. Joined the club from Brighton in the summer of 2014, the Argentinian. King with Albrighton the option. King making a late dart into the area. This is Andy King, and still King. He'll win a corner. Looked like that was going to be a memorable moment for Leicester's number 10.
Absolute trademark late run into the area from Andy King. Nearly had some wonderful feet to guide that one home.
At 37, one of the young players in the Leicester squad as Albrighton swings in another inviting cross, but it was too inviting for Luke Steele, the goalkeeper. Formerly with Peterborough, Manchester United, West Brom, Barnsley, then he went off to play for Panathinaikos. And he's off his line here, and as Albrighton spotted the chance, not quite. Already, what, 15 minutes in, I've lost count of the amount of chips that the players are trying.
I think David Nugent might have just checked himself there. I think the glare was going Mark Albrighton's way. He'd made a good run.
Nugent has won it back. Ulloa, King is an option. The deflected shotgun cross was gathered by Luke Steele. More chips than Harry Ramsden so far. All-Stars in a typical Tony Pulis style, looking to catch Leicester on the break. Cameron Jameau played with or under Pulis at Stoke and wins his All-Stars side. They throw on the far side.
It's been a good tempo so far. Well, we're nearly 17 minutes in. Leicester asking all the questions, of course.
How many players do you think have already asked the referee how long's gone? I know there's a big clock they could look at, but yeah.
I imagine Wes Morgan might have been one of the first.
We saw the videos yesterday of the Leicester side in particular taking in the sights of Seagrave to really give it the big match feel coming into this one. Nugent. He knows that Albrighton will be over on the left, but instead he's used the right, and he's got Schlupp, who's only got Joa at the minute. Plenty back for the All-Stars, and Joa up for a better touch. And the All-Stars able to mop things up with Joel Ward on the edge of his own area.
Some important defensive touches that have just halted Leicester in their attack, isn't it? Nugent and Ulloa and Andy King as well having opportunities inside the area. Sure, the longer the game goes on, the more they able to get that touch a little sharper. Will hopefully result in some goals for us, John.
Yes, we definitely need goals. I predicted this would be a goal fest, so we need that to start being delivered. Joel Ward, first time, right-footed, pings one out to the far side. Long and Jerome make runs towards the penalty area, but Albrighton and Fuchs combine to win the ball back. Here's King. Morgan.
Christian Fuchs joining in with some of the Newport training sessions to get himself ready for today, John. He's made that transition from player to manager pretty well, hasn't he? Helping Newport survive.
Left Leicester and went to America and did start his coaching career there, which has enabled that move to South Wales. King, part of Leicester's coaching staff, and has taken charge on an interim basis. Just slightly off the target to find Albrighton. Maybe they were thinking they were 10 years ago, and Albrighton had a bit more of a spark of pace. I did play against Mark Albrighton last summer without making this self-indulgent. He absolutely ripped me apart, twisted me inside and out on numerous occasions. I asked him politely to stop. Then I asked him unpolitely to stop. The nearest I got to him was leaving the car park, and his car was in front of mine.
I thought you were about to say I played against Mark Albrighton and he was in my pocket all game.
No, definitely not. There was one, I was stood next to him on the halfway line. I said, please don't run. He said, this is my daily run. I want to get 10k in today. Okay.
Was it pretty soon after that the universal substitution sign came out?
I just started to walk to the opposite side, but he had a free roll, so he kept finding me. Hence when I rang Tony Pulis and said, if you need any players, he just gave me the trademark laugh. Not today, son.
I'm going to be as polite as possible. I think Mark was maybe looking for the weak link, John.
Yes, yes. And he found it within less than a minute. Drinkwater can turn. Straight away, it feels like everyone looks to the left in Leicester blue. Andy King could be far off the first drinks break, which might be the other question that the players have been issuing to the referee. Jeff Schlupp. He's opened up the space, then he looked to the left. Albrighton only with a Joa, a dipping cross which Luke Stale is able to catch cleanly. Macaulay to Ward to Collins. Just feels like James Collins should have played for Tony Pulis at some point in his career, but weirdly didn't. So now he gets his chance.
Yeah, one of the most Tony Pulis defenders to never play for Tony Pulis, I think, probably.
An FA Cup runner-up with West Ham in 2006. As the All-Stars have a rare foray into the Leicester penalty area. Daniels looping cross to the far side. Ward. Speaking of free rolls, he seems to have one because he's popped up in all kinds of positions, Joel Ward. A shake of the hand with Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, the left and right hand side. Utilising the legs.
Age is on his side. Dan Gosling began his career as a youngster with Plymouth before moving on to Everton. Davis. And trophies galore with Rangers, the former Aston Villa Northern Ireland international. Collins short to Eric Peters. Cameron Giroux. Moving neatly forward, the All-Stars 11, and now Daniels with a chance to pick out the pass to Gosling, and it's a save, and the first save that Ben Hamer has had to make. A bit of space on the edge of the area, and Gosling striking, but Hamer is there to make a comfortable save. This was the Cameron Jerome chance at the near post that Hamer pushed away. Busy boy, Ben Hamer. Drinkwater. Over 200 Leicester appearances. Danny Drinkwater, 3 England caps. Scored 2 goals in the title-winning season. A 2-2 draw here against West Brom. A 3-0 win here against Tony Pulis' Stoke City side. I feel like Robert Huth was lining up to score that King Power goal there, the way he took control of the ball. So Joa's header, it's over the bar. He's the man that the Leicester chances have fallen to inside the penalty area. And as you've said a few times, Owen, it feels like he's the one that is getting closer and closer.
Yeah, picking up some very good positions inside the area, causing problems for the back line of the All-Stars. And every time Jeff Schlupp, Danny Drinkwater, Andy King, Mark Albrighton get on the ball, they are looking for him.
There is the drinks break. And as we can go away from the usual league protocol, there's an interview with Nathan Dyer taking place as well. Hopefully we can get a glimpse of that. Nathan Dyer, now with dreadlocks. He's one of the substitutes for Leicester. And talk about Lone Ranger, what a year he had. Premier League appearances were 12, all of them as a sub, but I suppose, and we might talk about it a bit later on, knowing when he comes on, was the goal against Aston Villa so early in the season, but it feels like that just started what ended up becoming that special season.
Yeah, one of the greatest, if not the greatest loan move in football history, joining on loan from Swansea, and then at the end of that season winning the Premier League title as well. And like you say, having an impact along the way. That goal against Aston Villa felt so key at the time to keep that momentum going for Leicester, and I think it's one that he'll always be remembered for. Not sure how much of it he remembers. He was knocked out of the process, wasn't he?
Yeah. We were at the end of that season as well. He must have left kicking and screaming. No, keep me, please keep me. Not sure how, but there was a builder's hat near the technical area. Leo Ajoa had it on briefly. Not seen any building work taking place. A well-earned drinks break for the players who start to re-emerge onto the field.
David Nugent's just asking the referee to play to the clock on the scoreboard that's been ticking all the way through that drinks break.
It's probably a request. Should we just call it 40, lads? Forget the 45. I think Liam Moore has come on for Leicester. King come off. It's like a pre-season friendly, and this is getting us in practice for pre-season, when news is limited. You kind of have to look at numbers or just try and recognise someone and then glaze around the field to see who has stayed on or who hasn't.
Yeah, I think Andy King's come off for Liam Moore, and Daniel Amarty's moved into the midfield alongside Danny Drinkwater.
Will carry on as they finish that before the drinks break, have been on the front foot, been on the attack. Here's Morgan stepping forward and continuing his run. This is Schlupp. Albrighton with time, and that could be dangerous for the All-Stars defence, but it's a cross that's looped out of play. Feels like Morgan and Huth are taking it in turns to just stride forward, both clearly keen to get a goal. Feels like a bit of Sunday morning football, doesn't it? I'm going to go up front for 10 minutes.
Yeah, just getting a little excited. But the space is there for them to do it. And why not? I think a lot of people would love to see Robert Huth get that first King Power Stadium goal. Where's Morgan rolling back the years to that Sevilla game as well, in which he scored.
Both for Robert Huth, the key moment of that season. Not just his defensive displays, but the 2 goals he scored at Manchester City. I've probably used the word iconic a few times this afternoon, but that was a game where, I think from a Leicester perspective, Leicester started to believe.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, that was the game, wasn't it? Both inside Leicester City, but also outside in the kind of wider footballing world, that made everyone sit up and say, actually, they've gone to Manchester City, big spending Manchester City, beat them in their own backyard.
It's a header from Peters, back to goalkeeper Steele. Thinking back to your memories, Owen, what were your abiding memories? You were working for Radio Leicester at the time. And break off because Cameron Jerome is striding forward and places it straight into the hands of Ben Hamer. So you must have been, what, 12 back then, because you only look about 21 now. So,
believe it or not, I was a bit older than that, John. But yeah, it was a good time beginning to work at, as you say, BBC Radio Leicester, and still having a season ticket just below where we are actually. It was watching it all unfold. It was quite something. Special memories that will stay with me for a very, very, very long time.
Here's Jeff Schlupp. Drinkwater. Eyeing up the killer pass that might break the deadlock. More from the right. Rushed clearance from Davis. There's always a great video, I mean, that Jack shares anytime now of you and Jack and I think was it Mike as well in the studio that I love seeing every single year. I'm sure you do as well.
Yep. Still can't grow a beard, John. Good to know.
There's Fuchs left-footed. Away by Joel Ward. I should probably tell people watching on listening, it's the night of the Chelsea game, I think I'm right in saying?
Yes, it is.
When it was sealed. Obviously the news filters through and you three are just running around the studio. Yeah, love watching that.
Yeah, a non-Leicester fan in the office coming down to film the moment of the final whistle that confirmed it for Leicester City as well. I think Mike McCarthy was a little more professional than myself and Jack, but
that is a night not to be professional. Collins, he knew as he took that touch he was in danger, and look at the space for Drinkwater, and now Schlupp off target. Sometimes just saying off target and leaving the silence, I think, does everything it needs to.
They worked it really well, didn't they? David Nugent doing what David Nugent does, harrying, being an annoying pest for the All-Stars back line, and was able to win the ball back. Combination play between Albrighton, Drinkwater, find Schlupp in a good area, opened his body up well, but not the finish to match.
Annoying pest. He's a bit like that in the Foxy Sub studio as well. I'm sure you found that when he's worked with BBC Radio Leicester too. Drinkwater. Two to the right. One is Ajoa. A shot low across the ground. That gets the ooze from the crowd, but we are still awaiting with about 10 minutes to go. A break in the deadlock. Look at the space for Albrighton. There's three waiting for the cutback, but it is blocked by James Collins.
Yeah, just picked the wrong option. Did Mark Albrighton. Ujoa made the run to the near post. David Nugent just stopped in his tracks and it just opened up the space.
Whelan. A staple of the Tony Pulis era at Stoke City. Tells you the description of the All-Stars team. Barclays men, lots of Barclays men, and we love that as well.
Yeah, bar Kenwyn Jones. Would not surprise you, would it? A couple of extra appearances for some of the Tony Pulis Barclays men.
Ricardo Fuller and Rory Delap, and we're in. Albrighton. Thought the handball claims could have been louder. As Drinkwater strikes, but off target again. Clearly shooting practice wasn't part of Seagrave yesterday.
Christian Fuchs having a bit of whinge up there at the referee, asking for a penalty kick. It's that competitive edge, isn't it, that never leaves any of the players out there today.
Nearly 80 caps for Austria, Christian Fuchs. Those three Leicester goals, all crackers here against Crystal Palace, against Fleetwood And against Hull, will we see a goal eventually in this game? Mark Albrighton with a cross that was blocked and smothered by Luke Steele. I think Palace or Fleetwood in terms of those Fuchs goals, in terms of which one was the better.
The Palace one, the kind of side foot volley. Really good technique.
Schlupp, Ajoa keeping on side. Ignores Nugent. Here's Liam Moore getting forward from the back, and a cross that Schlupp got something to. Albrighton will keep it in. Steele is backpedaling. Fuchs opted to shoot. In fairness, there weren't too many good options for him to lay the ball off to. Maybe Nugent is saying he was a good option, but in the end, from that left side of the box, he's fired one into the seats of the stand behind the goal.
Yeah, picked it up in plenty of space, didn't he? Perhaps saw his name in the lights as he did against Crystal Palace that day in the Premier League.
Amati showing that versatility he had during his Leicester years, right back to centre midfield. Played at centre half a number of times as well. Glenn Whelan, 42 now, the Dubliner who began his career with Manchester City. Over 300 appearances with Stoke before he moved on to Aston Villa, Hearts and Fleetwood. Ended his career with Bristol Rovers. Scored here in December of 2006. That was for Sheffield Wednesday, and a 4-1 Sheffield Wednesday win here at King Power Stadium. James Collins. Dan Gosling. And now Davis. Joel Ward making his way to that right side. As part of the Palace squad that won the FA Cup, although not involved playing-wise before leaving last summer. 364 appearances later. As I mentioned earlier, he's part of the TV pundit crew as Crystal Palace lifted the Europa Conference during the week. Nugent's ambitious, but wide.
Very ambitious from David Nugent. Just saw Steele off his line, didn't he? Fancied the wonder goal.
And that sound you can hear is his Aston Nomad registration being ripped up. Morgan able to share a smile with Cameron Jerome as the ball was there somewhere, just neither of them could quite find it. Here's Liam Moore, spotted that the Leicester players hadn't gone into the box, they'd hung back on the edge. Now he's got 4 to aim for. Collins reacting to clear with his knee. Fuchs is in lots of space on the left. Charlie Daniels, first time to Davis, first time looking for long. Through to Ben Hamer. Goalkeeper who left Queen's Park Rangers at the end of last season, made 7 appearances for them in the Championship. Steele had to wait for that one to bounce up. Steele actually made his West Brom debut here at King Power Stadium, December of 07. Only made 2 appearances for the Baggies as Cameron Jerome has space here. He has Long, busting a gut to get into the box. maybe took all of his energy in getting there, and once the ball landed at his foot, almost forgot what he needed to do with it. May have glanced off his boot, but it's well wide, and that was a big chance for the All-Stars.
Yeah, really good ball from the left-hand side, and Shane Long made a great run into the middle. You would actually say that the Leicester City Legends have been on top in this game, but actually the All-Stars have probably had the better chances. John, the Cameron Jerome chance, that one there from Shane Long. Dan Gosling from the edge of the area as well.
Long, who scored 10 goals in 28 Premier League appearances during that 15-16 season for Southampton. None of them against the Foxes, though. Two minutes of normal time to play. And I'm still staggered we've not had a goal, and frankly everyone's let us down with that.
I used to say there's been some good chances in this game so far. Leicester have built well in good areas. Claudio Ranieri might be dropping into, I've been pleased with the performance so far.
There is a clean sheet pizza though on the line here, so at the minute, I thought the commentator's curse was about to appear then. Kevin French is the fourth official. Now, if he is in the spirit of the occasion, he'll get the board out and he'll stick something like 15 on it just for the just for the bants. Here's Charlie Daniels. Blocked by Moore.
Nice little Leicester City Academy product combination down this right-hand side. Moore and Schlupp in the academy together. Both coming through under Nigel Pearson.
Here is Moore. And is there a goal right on half-time for Leicester City? A delivery and a shot from Amati. That is deflected for a corner. And we still live in hope that the goal will come before the break.
Yeah, it's a good pick out from Liam Moore down the right-hand side. I think it was Drinkwater who was available on the edge of the area. Found Amati instead. Did well to get over it and keep it down.
Only scored one goal here. Daniel Amati in his Leicester career was in a Europa League game against Spartak Moscow. As Albrighton swings in another trademark delivery. Liam Moore's header drops wide. And that is half-time. No goals, somehow. And team talks for both managers to see if we can have goals to go with the entertainment of the first half. And I think you've summed it up perfectly, Owen. Leicester, the better of the play, more of the ball, but it is the All-Stars that have had the chances in that first period.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good spectacle out there. The tempo quite high, the quality pretty good as well. And I think the All-Stars will probably go in at the break perhaps a little annoyed that they aren't ahead in this game, as might Leicester City as well. So all to play for in the second half, John.
Half-time at King Power Stadium, 10 years on from that special season. It is Leicester City 0, the All-Stars 11-0.
The lights draw you in, the reels begin to spin. Every click, every turn, the tension builds. One more symbol, one more chance. Jackpot. Win your wild. Stay untamed. BC Game.
비세공.
This is classed as like one of the most disadvantaged areas in Leicester.
High crime, higher unemployment, and I suppose what we try and do is provide a bit of hope for people.
I have mental health issues and this helps. If I wasn't injured, I'd be playing.
Leicester City in the community exists to support underrepresented groups. You come and work in areas like this, there's some great people, there's people who really want to get on in life, and what we do is try and just give them a bit of a stepping stone to help them get where they want to be. So what we've done great in this area, we've provided opportunities for people to get employment with us, volunteering opportunities, upskill, and then really just feel part of something at Leicester City in the community.
I started meeting with Matt Bray throughout when this pitch was being built, and he liked what I was doing, so he said come do some volunteering for me, and then it bloomed into a job where he put me through my reffing course, my coaching course. I've had excellent opportunities. If it wasn't for Leicester City, I'd never have none of that, and I'm really grateful.
It's all about getting girls that don't usually play football or not for a team to come and try the sport for the very first time. Some of them have like never even tried to kick a football in their life, and now, as you can see, they all take part, whether it's just for 10 minutes or the whole time. They always all take part. To be able to come to this pitch, free access whenever I like, and have a girls only session where I felt included, it was so important.
35 plus group, love it, and Maciek, one of them, Bandy, Nathan, Sean, a lot of them are here playing now. Some of them travel from like Enderby, Wigston, all round to come and play, because there's nothing like that in them areas. The wide range stuff we actually do weight loss league with kick sessions, ladies only sessions, we do camps. There's a long list of things that we all get involved in. So it's built up that rapport with the community, like I have, Matt has, Kyle has, and Caitlin. Some people don't do nothing for themselves. If they don't do something, you're going to end up exploding. So this sort of opens that of my space. It's only an hour, but it's better than nothing. Because the kids need it. There's nothing, I'm not being funny, there's nothing around here for the children, because it hopefully keeps them off the street and from causing trouble. You can't save every child from wanting to cause trouble, but you won't. I tell you now, you drive down the boulevard, you won't see this pitch empty, and if it is, it's during school time.
I grew up in this area myself, and so I think it's really important just to like have these guys for 3 hours in a safe space. Not only have they like made a future for me, they've made a future for so many other people, whether that's just making them have better mental health or actually giving them a job. Like, I think that's really important.
I lost my wife, she's 59, destroyed me really. And then doing walking football, which is it's just brilliant. Yeah, it's been really help for me anyway, yeah.
Today we've got walking football at Holmes Park. It's for people aged 55 and over, just to come out, get active, make new friends and enjoy being out in the good outdoors. They might be at home all day, have nothing to do, but I mean, just looking at it today, they all look forward to coming out on a Tuesday, meeting the friends that they've made, and the same for the sessions that we have on the Monday night, Wednesday and a Thursday also.
I joined just after COVID, started coming to walking football just after COVID. Couldn't believe how much was done, and I think it's wonderful. It's so good for you mentally, physically. Yeah, and I'm lucky, I'm married and I've got a good family, and so I never suffer from those things, but I know plenty of people who do, and I know they appreciate it really well.
We're all old, but at least we get about and have a go. And I'd say to anybody who's in the same situation, just come down and have a go, because it's more than football. Yeah, brilliant.
We think it's extremely valuable. The amount of people that we have coming to the sessions and the background of how they talk to each other in the WhatsApp group, they've made friends for life, they go out with each other of an evening, and it's just a really nice social session that everyone can join in.
It just makes my week really special because I'm meeting lots of friends and going out there and enjoying it, doing things that, again, I never thought I'd do at this age in life.
I mean, I've got loads of mates now. I mean, on your birthday, oh my word, your phone don't stop going. You know, happy birthday, happy birthday. Yeah, it's fantastic. Just can't praise it enough. All Leicester City for what they do. Leicester's really special, I think. Yeah.
It's been too long. So yeah, my second time back was on back for last game. But it's great to see everyone and it's like seeing family.
Yeah, and even yesterday during the training match with the refereeing, of course, just to see that immediately, the banner and everyone back together was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think football, even life in general, when you experience high all those, you can create a bond, and this team created a bond.
Welcome back to King Power Stadium. It's 0-0 at the break between Leicester City Legends and the All-Star 11. And it's a chance alongside me, Owen Palmer-Atkin, to look at some of the highlights from that first half in which Leicester have dominated possession. They've had the half chances, but it's the All-Stars that have had the better chances for Leicester. Leo Ulloa in particular, getting in the right position, just not quite finding that killer touch.
Yeah, some good positions, as you rightly say, picked up, John, by Leonardo Ulloa in the middle. But the delivery so far of Mark Albrighton, Danny Drinkwater, Jeff Schlupp and Andy King not quite able to find the head of the man who cost Leicester a fortune, as they say in the stands.
In terms of the All-Stars, here are their chances. Joel Ward probably disappointed there that no one decided to join him inside the penalty area, or when they did, it was probably too late. But as we get through the action, we'll see the saves that Ben Hamer has had to make, and of the two goalkeepers, he's been the the busier of them. But Mark Albrighton, a key player, deliveries have been great.
Yeah, on the set pieces, hasn't he? And picking up plenty of space on that left-hand side. David Nugent and Leonardo Ulloa appreciative of the deliveries from the left. And there's another there into Andy King, who almost completed somewhat of a fairy tale return to the pitch at King Power Stadium.
Here are the saves that Ben Hamer had make. One there from Cameron Jerome. Angle against him, but it still needed the stop.
Yeah, well beat away by Hamer. Wasn't too much longer before they got another chance, John, as well.
And that was the effort from Dan Gosling that was straight at Hamer, but again another important stop. And as the half moved on, it's the All-Stars will be disappointed that they've not found the killer touch to get the goal. Shane Long as well had a chance, but Leicester always in the game, and certainly from wide areas that's been their main threat.
Yeah, certainly is. Jeff Schlupp and Mark Albrighton, as we've already mentioned, have been able to pick up some really good spaces wide, and that has allowed a little bit more space to be created in the midfield for whether it be Drinkwater, King or Marty, or the front line of Nugent or Ulloa to really...
And that was the best chance of the game that we saw for Shane Long. Maybe used all his energy to get there and then couldn't quite find the touch that were taken into the back of the net. So somehow for a charity game, a celebratory game, we've not had any goals so far. We're just now awaiting the two teams to return. The ground staff doing their final preps on the pitch before the players return. We've heard from Jamie Vardy, Kasper Schmeichel during that half-time interval. But I suppose what we missed in the first half, Owen, is goals. I don't want to jinx this, the commentator's curse, but we've got to get some, haven't we?
I think when you see some of the quality that's out there, I think there probably will be goals in this game, and certainly the chances as well. The more that the sun has an impact on some of the players out there, who knows, maybe a couple of defensive errors. Although, if there is, as you say, John, a clean sheet pizza on the line for Leicester City Legends, then they might want to keep things nice and tight. But they've certainly created more half chances in that first half. Hopefully in the second period they can begin to put some of those away.
You used to see Claudio Ranieri doing the dilly-ding, dilly-dong if he thought someone was falling asleep. Do you think the strikers might have had that one at half-time? The defenders have been rewarded maybe with the pizza, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think Claudio might be climbing into the stands to see if Jamie Vardy does fancy a bit of a run out. It has to be said, David Nugent has caused problems, as he always does whenever he plays, and Leonardo Ulloa has picked up some good positions in the area. Maybe it's just about just tweaking things ever so slightly to make sure they're finding those runs, picking out the best option, but it feels like a goal isn't too far away.
We always talk about the benches, even in league games where we're covering them. Leicester have got two more options on the bench in terms of squad size. Feels like the All-Stars have maybe got a bit more firepower. Troy Deeney and Dwight Gale, potentially the threat that Tony Pulis has.
Yeah, I think both of those players, as everyone can see, scored goals at Premier League level if they were able to bring them on. I think Troy Deeney, obviously re-somewhat of a pantomime villain around these parts. I think Wes Morgan might quite fancy a battle with him today.
The players are in the tunnel. They are about to re-emerge onto the field. And again, you mentioned it, Owen, the heat has to play a part in this second half, because not everybody will have the chance to come off. Some of the tired limbs will have to get through 90 minutes.
They certainly will, and it is hot pitch side as well, so they're going to have to really be making sure they take on as many fluids as they can, but also just perhaps conserve a little bit of energy for the moments they really feel is the right time to go and push and hopefully punish this All-Stars 11 as well. The chances will probably, I think, come in this second half, John.
I didn't check before the game. I'm not sure if we're going to go to penalties and extra time, but again, we talked about the competitive edge that these players will have. They'll want to win a game one way or the other, I'm sure. So the players returning to the field. Don't forget, the most important part of today is all about the celebrations, but also about giving back. The net proceeds and donations from this anniversary game will support local causes through the VS Foundation and Leicester City in the community, helping families, young people and community projects across Leicester and the wider county. If you can, please donate using the details that I'll give you shortly, no matter how big or small. Once again, just to be part of the special day will be greatly appreciated. If you do want to donate, text LCFC followed by the donation amount that you wish to give to 70490, and that will give the amount that you want to donate. So, example, to donate £10, you would text LCFC 10 to 70490. That is 70490. I'll give you that number again a little bit later on, but throughout the day here at King Power Stadium, there have been buckets going around the perimeter of the pitch, outside of the stadium, and we've seen plenty of donations that will have a big impact on the community. Talking about pre-match, the scenes outside the ground, Owen, that you will have seen on arrival. Brilliant to see so many fans gathering around the players' entrance, welcoming the coach. Just gave a real feel-good factor to the day, and that's carried on throughout.
Yeah, it was a good mood outside the stadium, has to be said, and I think fans perhaps have taken this opportunity to enjoy coming down the football after what was obviously a disappointing season for the regular first team men's side. So to see some of the legends back at King Power Stadium, I think it's maybe perhaps a little bit of a welcome break. And yeah, it was a good mood and football in the sun. A couple of pints on the way. I think some fans will be enjoying that, I'm sure.
Tony Pulis looks as though he's recruited Wes Brown there on screen as his assistant. Lots of pointing going on, and this is the fun bit for me, Owen, because we're now going to glaze around the field and try and work out who's come on, who's come off. Paul Konchesky's definitely come on, wearing number 3 on this near side at left back. And dare I say, that might be the only change that Leicester have made in the break. No, you spotted another one.
Yeah, Robert Huth has come off for Marcin Wozolewski. So I look forward to some horrendous two-footed challenges at some point, John.
Johan Benalawan is bursting to get onto the field. In terms of the All-Stars, Owen will point me right here because he's got younger, better eyes than me, but I don't think they have made a change yet. Tony Pulis, you wily old fox. Here's David Nugent. Space is for Schlupp. Here's Albrighton. It's another great delivery. It stayed in play. The last touch was actually off. David Nugent at that far post alongside Eric Peters. So no goal early in the second half.
I imagine they are saving the goals for the Kop end.
Yes. Eric Peters, who last played down the road at Derby, just the one appearance, helping them to the League One promotion. Peters, who played for his native Dutch side on 18 occasions, played with Utrecht PSV before a 6-year spell with Stoke, and then it was on to Burnley and West Brom. It's his other half now that takes all the plaudits. Namina is, or was, on Real Housewives of Cheshire. I'm sure Owen watches that one. Legal advisor as well, and a singer, and a show jumper. Eric very much taking the back seat now.
Are you trying to tell me you don't watch that, John? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. Gets in the way of Married at First Sight. Macaulay stroking the ball to James Collins. Macaulay, 3 years with Leicester, joined from Lincoln in 2005, 84 appearances. Cameron Jerome going beyond Wozolewski, but offside. And now Tony Pulis is going to make a change.
Obviously not happy, John, with what he's seen in the first couple of minutes.
Wes Brown is coming on. Tony Pulis realising he didn't have enough defenders on the pitch, so he's chucked another one on. And Wes Brown is explaining to James Morgan, yes, he really does want us to play a back 7.
I would have it die hard, John. He won't want to lose this one.
Just get the point, lads. Get the point. Get the point. On the bus. Get home. Looks as though Stephen Davis has gone off and Wes Houlihan has come on. So there is an attacking change. Jinky, tricky Wes Houlihan.
Yeah, I think Wayne Routledge also waiting to come on.
Tony Pulis clearly listening to us and has taken umbrage at the comment about all the defenders coming on. Cameron Jerome is off. Wayne Routledge is on. League Cup winner during his long time with Swansea, 10 years, over 300 appearances. Also donned the shirts of Crystal Palace, Spurs, Villa, Queen's Park Rangers and Newcastle. Scored against Leicester for Fulham in an FA Cup tie.
Bit of a shape change as well, I think, for the All-Star 11 into more of a 5-4-1.
Get the point, lads. Don't concede.
Point away from home, John. It's good going.
He's like won the league, you know. I do find it strange he left it 4 minutes into the second half to make the changes that we thought he would have made at half-time. Just eating up the seconds already. Joel Ward. Albrighton. He's lining it up. As slick as the shot comes in, that's wide of the goal. And I do apologise, how did we miss the introduction of Conrad Logan, who has come on at half-time, replacing Ben Hamer in the Leicester City goal?
I think he may need someone to run over with a cap, John. Sun blaring down.
Tony Pulis has got a spare one. As we mentioned in the first half, Conrad Logan now managing Asti Nomads. Played nearly 200 appearances for them before taking the hot seat. Came through the Leicester Academy, 30 appearances. And elsewhere in the stands, I mentioned there's so many legends and special guests, and the Mayor of Leicester has taken his seat as well to watch proceedings on what's a very special day here at King Power Stadium. Conrad Logan, a Scottish Cup winner with Hibs after he left Leicester in 2016, a 3-2 win at Hampden Park against Rangers. Logan was a penalty shootout hero in the semi-final of that competition. As Whelan delivers a ball viciously out to the far side of the field. There's Gosling. Now Whelan. Wes Brown, who won pretty much everything and a bit more at Manchester United. Houlihan, his first involvement is to feed the ball down this near side, where Dwight Gale has snuck on the field as well. It's a decent effort, struck firmly low across the ground from Gosling. Logan not forced into action as he watched that one spin beyond him and wide.
Had it covered, Conrad Logan.
You're right, though, he could do with a cap. His fair hair not helped as well.
Yeah, some cream as well.
Paul Konchesky. Schlupp spotted the run of Nugent. Saved by Luke Steele. Chance still alive as Moore's shot is blocked by Wes Brown. Corner for Leicester, best chance that they have had in this game. Two good chances, the first for Nugent, one-on-one. I think we all expected that one to end in the back of the net. Moore from the follow-up, not a prolific goal scorer. Brown with his defensive instincts to stop the chance.
Leonardo Ulloa was not happy that the ball didn't get squared up when Nugent was played through.
from the corner. Vasilevsky. Clearance into Houlihan. Did have the willing run of Dwight Gale. Here's Routledge. Vasilevsky will remember that. Bursting through on the far side. And the cross coming through. Ward there again. Fit as a fiddle, covering every blade of grass for the All Stars. Routledge. An attempted 1-2 with Gale. Falls to Houlihan. And there's the first touch of the game for Conrad Logan. A number of loan spells while he was a Leicester player. Boston, Stockport, Luton, Rotherham and Rochdale. Joa, a switch of play to Moore. Knocked down to Vasilevsky, who joined Leicester in the summer of 2013 from Anderlecht. Left in the summer of 2017. Finished his playing career with his hometown club, Wisla Krakow. His only league goal for Leicester came in the great escape at Manchester United. Albrighton looking forward, looking for willing runners. Brown's header. Nicely brought down by Joa.
It's a lovely touch, a lovely turn.
And in his head now he's going, still got it, still got it.
Looking to the stands, see if there's some scouts knocking around.
He retired in the summer of 2021 after appearing for Rayo Vallecano. Moore, after leaving Leicester, had a long career with Reading before a move into non-league. Houlihan. I think you mentioned earlier, Owen, is Liam Moore still playing as well, still getting the boots on?
Yeah, I think Spalding United, I think, is where he's at the moment. Couldn't keep himself away. He was actually due to appear on one of our shows on BBC Radio Leicester and had to text me to say, I'm really sorry, I've got a game.
As excuses go.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah. Houlihan. Gale is on the last shoulder of both Morgan and Vasilevsky. Prolific in the Championship. He's a big part of Newcastle getting back to the Premier League during his time there. At 36, one of the youngest, if not the youngest player involved in both of the squads. Finished his playing career 2 seasons ago with Hibs. Scored 3 and 6 for Derby prior to that in a short spell he had when Derby were in League One. Schlupp. Albrighton is beyond the All-Stars defence. As Joa looking to join. And still Albrighton rolling back the years with a shot that Leicester hope they will get a corner from, but as Joa with the last touch, that is a smile that says he knows the last touch was off him.
Trying his luck, I think, with the referee, John Brooks. See if he could get himself a corner. It's great work, though, by Albrighton. Initially, the cross blocked. Did well to battle with Ward and come away with the ball.
Wes Morgan is going to place the captain's armband on the left bicep of Mark Albrighton. And he will be replaced by Johan Benelouan. Vasilevsky and Benelouan as a central defensive partnership. Dwight Gale already looking to the sidelines, thinking about whether he's...
Take me off, Gaffer, please.
Wes Morgan, 323 appearances, every minute played in the title season. That goal at Manchester United in the May when Leicester fought back like champions. And the goal in April here against Southampton, 1-0. How crucial was a 1-0 win at that stage of the season? Where's Morgan? Captain Morgan. And he is a Blue.
It was a pretty mean partnership to start with between Huth and Morgan, wasn't it? Wozolewski and Ben Awan will take no prisoners, I'm sure.
Just off camera, sorry. Ben Awan has just hugged Dwight Gale. Good to think what he's whispered in his ear. Nathan Dyer is on for Jeff Schlupp. We heard from Nathan Dyer in the first half, pitchside in an interview. We talked about that loan spell, the dream loan that he had. 12 Premier League substitute appearances, 1 goal in which he was knocked out in the last-minute win against Aston Villa here early in that season. An iconic figure of that campaign.
And part and parcel, really, isn't he, of the silver medalists that were kind of brought together. Every single player, I mean, you've heard Kasper Schmeichel talk about it before. They all had a point to prove. And they really did, all together, with that camaraderie and togetherness that they have as a squad. They proved the ultimate point.
Talks about icons and legends. Johan Ben Awan, is he a cult hero for Leicester City fans?
Oh, this man certainly is.
Leonardo Ulloa to Moore. You can certainly see that Moore is still playing because he's been up and down that right side. He's a constant outlet for the ball to be received. He's had that shot as well. But we've had an hour and we've not had a goal.
I can't believe someone's not had a word in the ear of Tony Pulis and said, why have you gone 5 at the back in a charity game?
All 5 centre-halves, by the way. None of this wing-back nonsense. It's a free kick. It was delicious, but just nobody able to jump high enough to steer it goalwards. Nugent the closest.
Yeah, took a little nick from a defender on the way through, so Paul Konchesky, chance to get things back underway.
Brighton have given him space. Amati to Moore. 4 lined up inside the penalty area. It's a Ulloa's header. Brighton quickly closed down. We'll use Konchesky. Blocked by Houlihan. Only Gale up front. Here we go. He's back. Charity, what charity?
Just can't help himself, can he? It's that desire to go and win the ball by any means necessary. He played a big part in the Champions League campaign, didn't he, for Leicester City, Johan Ben Awan.
Ended up having a short spell at Nottingham Forest. His only goal in English League football was for Forest against Derby. Houlihan will scamper to keep the ball in play. The Dubliner, who had spells with Blackpool, Norwich, West Brom, and moved to Australia to play with the Newcastle Jets before a short spell with Cambridge before hanging up the boots. Nugent totally missing the header. Here's Macaulay. Houlihan once more.
Nearly dropped kindly for Nugent there, just to spin the header away from Macaulay and run into the channel.
Wayne Routledge. Rare foray forward by Eric Peters. Pulis will be screaming at him to get back into that left wing back position now. Fullbacks don't cross the halfway line. Routledge, Houlihan carried on the run. The route towards him was blocked by Nathan Dyer. Dyer and Routledge both on that side, both former Swansea teammates. Wheeling away from Ajoa. It's a full 360 there from Houlihan.
Again, when we talk about good to see players and their familiar gaits or their familiar playing styles, that is just classic Houlihan, isn't it? In there, twisting, turning, dribbling away.
Has a decent record against Leicester. Wes Houlihan, 3 goals in 4 championship games. One of them was here as Albrighton steers in another cross, and a shower again. A header at the far post that just glances off the top of his head. Well, he's not stopped smiling today, even yesterday at the training grounds. Just loving being back on that pitch. How big will the smile be if he can finally get the goal he's deserved?
Well, he's getting closer, isn't he? The crosses beginning now to find their targets, and that the closest Ulloa has come. Just needed a slightly better contact.
Ulloa, first time to Moore. Ulloa wants the return. Just over the Argentine. Lovely touch, Houlihan. Dwight Gale pulling wide and racing forward. Houlihan is looking to join him, and this is Houlihan. Gale wants it back. Gosling, Routledge. Gale always moving inside the penalty area. And Marty's block. Konchesky, another regular guest on the Foxes Hub couch. Former England international, as well as Leicester. Played with Liverpool, West Ham, Fulham.
Scored some crackers in Leicester colours. Number 1 against Wolves, which flew into the top corner. Also scored a brilliant goal for Fulham against Liverpool, didn't he? I think at Anfield.
Ulloa dropped right onto the right boot of Mark Albrighton. A twist and a turn and a shot that's guided over the bar and signals the next drinks break in play. And what we need now are words of wisdom from Messrs Ranieri and Pulis that will see goals start to flow here at King Power Stadium as we celebrate 10 years since that epic fairy tale of a story when Leicester, against all odds, lifted the Premier League trophy. And a reminder today, as well as celebrating that moment, it's about raising funds for charity for the VS Foundation. And to donate, simply text LCFC followed by your donation amount to 70490, and that will allow you to give that amount to the charity. So if you wanted to donate £10, you would simply text LCFC 10 to 70490. Text will cost the donation amount plus 1 standard network message. So that the number again, text the amount you want to donate to 70490. And remember, with amongst all of the celebrations, it is about giving back. Net proceeds and donations from this anniversary game support local causes through the VS Foundation and Leicester City in the community. Captain Morgan providing words to thank the supporters that have turned out in decent numbers on this sweltering afternoon. One of a number of Leicester City legends either on the field or in the stands this afternoon. Approaching the 70th minute of the game and with 20 remaining. The goal fest that I had predicted is not at the moment coming quite true. Give me some inspiration, Owen, please. We're going to see goals.
Robert Hoof up front. He wanted that little stretch, didn't he, to try and score that goal at King Power Stadium. I think you can feel it coming.
Sean St Ledger has come on for Leicester. Where's number 12? He's replaced Danny Drinkwater, so he's taken up a position in the centre of midfield. A player who, like Christian Fuchs, had a big old spell in America towards the end of his career. A regular back in the day with Fox's Hub, particularly on the under-21 games. He was involved with the academy, used to provide co-coms. Would usually turn up late, which is maybe why he's only just made the field. Maybe he's only just got here. We say late, sometimes if at all. We would just presume he was coming and then we'd realise 10 minutes into the game he wasn't going to be there.
Sounds like he works to the same clock as Matt Piper. Good afternoon, Pipes, if you're watching.
You mean he's not here? Pipes, we need words. Feels like the pace has maybe just slowed down, which, based on the age of the players involved and the heat, maybe we're allowed to forgive, but we need some goals.
Just conserving the energy, John, waiting for that pinpoint moment.
Houlihan. As Brown is making his way to the right. Got there eventually, and then by that point, another 3 passes had been made. Pass over the head of Joel Ward. Fair play to Tony Pulis. That very strict line of 5 he's now just released the wing back slightly further forward. That gives us a bit of hope. Delicate from Vasilevsky. Nugent. Second touch is a tackle. For the All-Stars on the left, it's Peters that's made the sprint. It's Routledge that has held on to the ball. Routledge. Gale offside. We said he was lurking on the shoulder of the last defender, and that was the case there as he made that darting run into the space. Flag on this near side very quickly raised. Probably the best spell of possession the All-Stars have had.
Yeah, it was a nice run from Dwight Gale, but well marshalled by the Leicester City Legends back line.
Brighton opting not to use Konchesky. Then does. 4 in blue in the middle. Dyer on the edge of the area. Shower dropping deep. Konchesky is the option for the pass. Underlapping into the box. He's certainly not rushing to get back into the defensive position. As the All-Stars have it with Routledge. Houlihan. St Ledger. Albrighton. Nathan Dyer. Leicester attacking the end in which he scored that headed goal. As you said, Owen, not sure what he remembers about it other than the replays. Dyer again. Chance to go forward blocked, and Leicester revert back to their defensive position. St Ledger dropping in, almost keeping a watching eye on Wes Houlihan, who certainly has the capability of unlocking a defence. A couple of key moments in the career of Sean St Ledger, famously starred in the Big Rob Manager documentary. He was a bit of a rebel back then as a youngster. And then famously he was papped with Taylor Swift.
I wondered if that was going to be the other key moment.
Unless you've got a third, Owen, chuck it in. Yeah, you'll have to Google that one, people watching it. Sean St Ledger and Taylor Swift. It really did happen, apparently. Or the picture evidence is there.
Sean in a leather jacket as well. Brave choice.
Big Rob Manager, well worth a watch as well if it's still floating around on YouTube. From different times. Problem here for Wes Brown, who's going to have to be replaced. A reshuffle for Tony Pulis in terms of his back line. Charlie Daniels has reappeared. I was wondering if there'd be an option of rolling subs and players to return back to the field. We'll just have to take some guess here, Owen. Is that heat stroke? Is that he's decided actually he's not fit enough to play a game anymore, or he's just had enough?
I think probably the last one, John. He's done his job, brought in just to tighten things up in the second half.
Dyer. Less than 15 minutes remain. Nugent. Blocked by Collins. Vasilevsky. Whelan's flick. Leicester have surrounded the penalty area. Konchesky. Crossing option. Vasilevsky has stayed forward. Good hands, Luke Steele. We're into Sunday morning territory. Vasilevsky's gone forward and he might not come back.
Hey, this is what people want to see, John.
Yes.
Vasilevsky overhead kick in the 90th minute to win this one for the Leicester City Legends. It's all on the table. I just feel like Leicester have just had their breather, haven't they, for 5 or 10 minutes, and now beginning to try and find an opportunity.
Nugent! Feels like he keeps dropping deeper, knowing he's got the potential from range to ping one into the back of the net. That one's slightly off target. Where's your money on first goal scorer, Nugent or Ulloa?
I can see Ulloa just picking the right space at the right time, getting that ball in from Mark Albrighton and tucking one home. You can't ever put money against David Nugent chopping in on his right foot and bending one into the bottom corner, though.
Looks as though that youngster is going to take home a memento. Albrighton drifted infield on this occasion. Even Konchesky has room. Ulloa made a run forward, then just checked back. Albrighton again. Another way. Yeah, Sunday morning stuff. Didn't score during his time with Leicester. called the 5,000 to 1 game. I'm going to say 5,000 to 1 for Johan Benalawain to score from there. Collins' header. Back in by Moore. All-Stars 11 looks very well drilled, despite probably never having trained together, but there's a very firm line. Communication is clear and they all know their jobs.
It would not surprise you to find out that Tony Pulis had them in training for the last few weeks, would it?
Zoom calls just with the defence. St Ledger. Plenty of the ball for the team in blue. 10 to get the goal. There's a left ski to Amate. Joa pointing where he wants it. Konchesky. Lovely flick. St Ledger just a few yards away. And now the break for the All-Stars in white. Houlihan stopped in his tracks by Nathan Dyer.
Surprised the cards have not come out for that. Taking one for the team.
Yeah. This would be typical Tony Pulis, gone steal one at the end.
He still does have options on his bench, doesn't he? Troy Deeney.
Yeah.
Yet to be introduced. Might get a 5-minute cameo maybe to try and win it.
It's all set up for a Leicester penalty that's saved and then Troy Deeney to do what Troy Deeney does. A replica of that goal that still haunts us all. Amate, it's the 1-2 with Albrighton and a swivel of the hips that's opened up the space. And this is Nathan Dyer, went first time but chipped it into the arms of Luke Steele. Another big chance. In fact, both goalkeepers are currently playing their trade in the managerial stakes. We mentioned Conrad Logan with Anstey Nomads for Luke Steele, currently manager of Peterborough Sports. His hometown club, began his career there, England under-20 goalkeeper. All-Stars corner. Definitely the first one they've had in the second half, but I think that's the first corner they've had in this entire game, and we've had 82 minutes.
You were saying trademark Tony Pulis a few moments ago, John. This could be their moment.
Macaulay, Collins, it's wide. And the maraud back to a defensive position begins. Paul Konchesky for Leicester. Joa, who had gone back to defend and in his way to make his way back forward, collects the pass from Leicester's left back. Over 100 appearances for Leicester, Paul Konchesky. Houlihan. Deflected off Fazelewski, header from Benalawain.
Important header as well. There was 3 white shirts waiting for that ball to drop so they could spring something of a counter-attack.
Brief look at the Leicester bench. Very surprised Andy King went off as soon as he did in the game and it hasn't reappeared. One of the younger members, still in his 30s.
And from what we saw in the first half, John still has it.
Side of the big volley from Conrad Logan. Trademark sliding challenge from Benaloway. Not quite trademark, didn't take the man, only took the ball. He'd be disappointed with that.
Yeah, it was a smidge too clean a challenge.
Retired in the summer of 2023 after leaving Italian side Novara. 4 Premier League substitute appearances during the 15-16 season before going on loan to Fiorentina. There's Houlihan. Houlihan again. Only just wide. Logan was at full stretch. Set up so nicely for the Irishman. Where's Houlihan?
Well, we talked about him being the danger man, didn't we? And he really proved us all right there. It's a good volley. Logan stretching. Fortunately, flashes wide.
One Houlihan goal that he scored here at King Power Stadium, March of 2011. Norwich winning here 3-2 in the Championship. Dyer, acres of space for Konchesky. Low delivery, away by Collins, into the final 5, and Leicester have a corner.
Right to the wire, this one.
Are we going to get a substitute being subbed? Sean St Ledger leaves the field. And Jeff Schlupp is returning. Again, that's a Sunday league. Give me 20, Gaffer, I'll be absolutely fine. 10 minutes later, yeah, might have overstretched that. Mark Albrighton on corner duty. An area of the field which he delivered so many special moments. That one into the hands of Luke Steele. Gale. Houlihan. Is on the far side, drifting infield. Glenn Whelan. Eric Peters, slightly behind Routledge. Only Gale at the moment inside the penalty area. Konchesky dispossesses Houlihan. Nugent sparks the Leicester break. Ajoa to the right, Dyer joining. Konchesky trying to roll it back to David Nugent. Nugent, who scored 59 goals in 180 Leicester appearances. Began with Bury and Preston. Starting that move, he thought he might be at the end of it. Houlihan. Albrighton watching that all the way, covering back for Konchesky as well.
Not shy of doing his defensive duties, Mark Albrighton. Houlihan for a second just looked like he was just trying to make half a yard to get the ball onto his left foot.
Albrighton spotted the run of Nugent, who just stalled slightly, thinking he might be offside. Albrighton, who is 29th in the overall career appearances for Leicester City, 313. He played in all 38 Premier League games in the title season. Started all but 4. Conrad Logan had eyes fixed to the ball, and at the last minute, as it started to loop, just had to push that one away. And the All-Stars, after having not had a corner throughout the game, have had 2 in the last few moments, and It was a brilliant effort from Joel Ward from the halfway line.
I think Joel Ward just thought he caught Conrad Logan short there. Did well to get back and tip that one over the crossbar.
Collins and Macaulay are forward again. Beyond Macaulay, Collins will get ahead to it though. Logan will claim. So the cheers of the supporters, particularly down below us in a packed East Stand. There we go. Now we've got some entertainment. If it remains at 0-0, we will have a penalty shootout. There will be a winner of this game. We will have goals, unless they are dreadful at penalties. Unless there is a dramatic late winner.
Look at Liam Moore go. He wants his name on the score sheet, John.
Joa opted not to use Moore. It is a handball, it is a free kick, but Liam Moore, as I said earlier, up and down that right side, he was not impressed that that pass didn't come his way.
Last chance for Leicester City to load the penalty area, John. That's the 90 up. Could there be a dramatic late winner?
Let's hope so.
Jamie Vardy ready to come on?
I was thinking the same. He's got to take a penalty. Schmeichel has to be in goal. I don't think those two things will happen, but we can dream. Albrighton and Konchesky over the free kick. Of course it will be. Leicester's number 11. Always feels so weird not to see him wear 11 since his departure. Right-footed, Albrighton above Vasilevsky. That was the moment, wasn't it? And there is full time. And we will have a penalty shootout between the Leicester City Legends and the All-Star 11 in normal time. No one could find the killer touch to get us a goal to break the deadlock. It will go to penalties so that we can see some goals. So many players with good chances for Leicester in particular. Ajoa and Nugent both coming close on regular occasions for the All-Stars, certainly in the first half. Cameron Jerome and Dan Gosling with efforts that were saved by Ben Hamer. Second half, Conrad Logan had to react quickly to tip that long-range effort from Joel Ward over the bar. Fair result, I suppose, Owen. Neither side really did enough to win it.
Well, no, they both had chances, didn't they? Leonardo Ulloa will be thinking about that header at the back post that he couldn't just quite guide on target. Maybe just jumped a little too early, was already coming down when the ball arrived to him. But they do have an opportunity, John, to put all of those demons to bed with a penalty shootout.
John Brooks, the referee, is just ushering the players that have been on the field back towards the halfway line. And again, will be very Sunday League stuff, this, because there's none of this huddling with the manager and putting a list of 5 together. It's almost like they're just going to make it up on the spot from the halfway line. They'll look at each other in turn and one of them will go, yeah, go on then, I'll have a go. Although, as I say that, Tony Pulis does have a piece of paper in hand and is ushering across a few of his players. He shared a word with Claudio Ranieri. David Nugent has played the full 90. He's sat down in that centre circle, but I would imagine he will take one.
Well, where is Paul Gallagher when you need him?
Still remains one of the best penalty techniques, I think, in the game.
Paul Konchesky going first, John.
Big call.
Technician.
Luke Steele has played the full 90. He'll be in goal for the penalties for the All-Star 11. A quick chance to remind you, if you want to donate to the VS Foundation, which we are raising funds for today to support the local community. Just text LCFC followed by your donation amount to 70490. So for example, if you want to donate £10, text LCFC10 to 70490. Text will cost the donation amount plus 1 standard network rate message. Here we go, penalty shootout at the top end of the ground. Paul Konchesky! And we wait all that time, and then we get a goal. And what a brilliant penalty that was from Paul Konchesky.
Yep, no mistake with where he wanted to go or with the technique and placement either, right into the bottom corner. Fantastic penalty.
Wayne Rutledge is first up for the All-Star side. 10 years a Swansea player, a League Cup winner in 2013 with Swansea. Championship titles with Queen's Park Rangers and Newcastle. He steered through those big nervous moments, but this is as big as anything. Conrad Logan stands in his way from 12 yards. And it is a save from Conrad Logan. A Scottish Cup penalty saviour for Hibs that took them to a final that they won. And he's brought back those memories.
Fantastic save. Watched Routledge every step of the way.
And enjoyed every moment of it. Next up for Leicester, a homegrown talent, Liam Moore. Luke Steele beaten by Paul Konchesky with the first penalty. Liam Moore from 12 yards. Brilliantly done again, another very good penalty. Steele might have got the wrong way, but he's getting nowhere near that.
Yeah, brilliant strike from Liam Moore. Was making sure that even if Steele did get a hand to it, he was going to take everything into the net.
Glenn Whelan, one of the Barclays men that we were talking about in this All-Stars 11. Former Irish international. Logan has saved the first. In front of the Kop, another homegrown talent that saves again! The academy proving to be fruitful on this celebratory afternoon.
Well, Conrad Logan, the first to his right, the second to his left, and again gets down brilliantly to push that one away.
Leonardo Ulloa will take a confident walk forward for the Leicester City Legends. So close in normal time, a constant threat, a smile throughout the whole game. I'm almost willing him to score this one. Luke Steele stands firmly on his line and saves from Ulloa, and a big chance to take a big advantage is denied.
And what a save that was from Luke Steele. Ulloa's had a few chances in this game.
Good of Luke Steele to share the donation number. Houlihan slots home, pulls one back, and it just makes things nervous. 3 penalties gone apiece. It is 2-1 to the Leicester City Legends. And Leonardo Ulloa is still smiling. Mark Albrighton, a Leicester legend, a title winner, an FA Cup winner, Community Shield winner. Leicester's number 11. Make sure that the footing around the ball is secure. And scores from the spot. Once more, Steele was close, but not close enough to deny Mark Albrighton a goal.
I don't think there was any way Mark Albrighton was ever not going to score that. Brilliant penalty into the bottom corner. Steele went the right way, just had too much pace and whip on it.
Well, the Legends need to score this one, and Cameron Jerome, who started the game, did come off. Where's number 10? Steps up and has to deliver. Logan has saved 2, but he won't save that as it's rolled beyond him. And it is still very much game on, but Leicester could win it here.
A lovely slicked finish into the bottom corner, sent Logan the wrong way.
You can probably tell by the noise that the Blue Army are making. It is Christian Fuchs to step up for the decisive 5th penalty. Cool and calm and looking composed. The German, the Austrian, sorry, where did that come from? Christian Fuchs to win it for the Legends. And does so in the coolest of fashions to make sure everyone goes home, celebrating 10 years since the title, but celebrating a Leicester City victory here on the return, on the 5,000-1 10-year anniversary game. And we joked during the game, Christian Fuchs with 3 crackers during his career, and that one rolled delightfully into the back of the net. Didn't need the power of the goals he scored against Crystal Palace and Fleetwood here. Just needed that precision to finish things off and to gain the Leicester win. A game of celebration, and now the handshakes begin. And it is what we all wanted to see, Owen. Leicester win.
Yeah, it's a good result in the end, I think, for the Legends against a well put together, composed, organised Tony Pulis side, and they did well to keep a clean sheet themselves and make sure they get that clean sheet pizza, and then put the penalties away. Conrad Logan having a couple of standout moments in that penalty shootout, and it's Mark Albrighton and Christian Fuchs that have sent Leicester City Legends to victory this afternoon. And yeah, as you rightly say, John, a good way for the Legends to round of 10 years, a decade on since the most incredible sporting story of all time.
There has been smiles throughout the afternoon. Claudio Ranieri. I'm going to say, some of us, some of the people on there, you can see the 10 years and a bit of aging. Claudio still looks exactly as he did 10 years ago, and he's lapping up the appreciation that the fans and the players have given to him this afternoon. The players are gathering over on the far side. There you go, Claudio's just giving a few instructions of things they could have done better.
You wouldn't expect anything other, would you, from Claudio Ranieri? And you wouldn't expect anything other than those players to listen to what he had to say as well.
There you go, there is a reminder on the big screens and for you at home how you can donate. It will all support the VS Foundation, which helps Leicester, the wider community, the county. Just text your donation amount to 70490. Start the text with LCFC, so if you want to donate £10, it will be LCFC 10, and text that to 70490. Text will cost the donation amount plus one standard network rate message. Any donation, big or small, is hugely appreciated and will have an impact on the Leicester community. As we see, all of the players involved, some had to endure the 90 in the heat, some came on, did a bit and disappeared very quickly after, but a special moment and pictures that the players will certainly remember, but also for the club, Owen, it's a special picture that will be retained, remembered, something that everyone can look back on over the years. As you say, every year when this anniversary comes round, whether it's 1 year, 10 years, or in years to come, memories come flooding back to everyone involved with Leicester City.
Well, exactly, and some of those players out there, all of those players out there in blue would have been looking forward to this for a few weeks to get themselves back out onto the pitch here at King Power Stadium and just be able to be together again and just have that camaraderie and that feeling of being in this incredibly successful squad that really put Leicester City and Leicester as a city on the map worldwide for what they achieved. And yeah, some good memories created, I think, for those in the stands today, but also for those on the pitch as well, to come back together and just enjoy being in each other's company, and of course having the gaffer Claudio Ranieri bossing them about again.
The Leicester players, as you can see, are going to start to make their way around the pitch to show their appreciation to the supporters who have made the trip today. Some of them will have caught a bit of sun in the certain areas. And led by Claudio Ranieri, a chance for the players to show their appreciation one last time before the Radox is poured into the baths wherever they are taking them. There are going to be some stiff joints tomorrow. Certainly hobbling downstairs, even if they can make it downstairs. But throughout the afternoon, the big thing is everyone's had a smile on their face and have thoroughly enjoyed the game, the occasion, and just bringing back the memories of 10 years ago. Kasper Schmeichel not involved today. Announced his retirement following that shoulder injury, but he's alongside Mark Albrighton and Wes Morgan at the front of that queue. And those are the players that we all remember from that special season. Putting you on the spot, Owen, not man of the match. Who surprised you in Leicester Blue today?
I mean, you have put me on the spot there.
Sorry, I should have warned you that was coming.
The thing is,
I'll throw Conrad Logan in for the penalty saves.
Well, of course, yeah, Conrad Logan rolling back the years. I think it would be easy to say Mark Albrighton, but it doesn't surprise me one jot because of, you know, he's kept playing, and actually we all know the quality that he possesses. Liam Moore, again, had a good performance. Doesn't really surprise you. It doesn't surprise me that Johan Ben Arwan and Marcin Bozalewski were throwing themselves on the floor. I think we really saw some good performances out there from everyone. I guess I would have to say Leonardo Ulloa, retired for a few years now, that really showcased some great spatial awareness in the penalty area. Probably should have got on the score sheet as well. Unfortunately had a penalty save, which you would have put money on him to tuck away. So for all of those reasons, he's the surprise package today, John, for me, I would say.
Maybe it's good then that we say there weren't too many surprises and everyone stuck to script. In particular, the first challenge from Johan Ben Arwan, which just felt right at the time, and fair play that he stuck with him right going.
Yeah, you were not expecting anything different from either Ben Arwan or Marcin Bozalewski as well, both known for their real hardcore defensive styles.
Just keeping an eye on Jamie Vardy, who has joined the party, and he's got 2 cans in his hand, and I'm trying to weigh up whether they are a certain energy drink, water, unlikely, or maybe an alcoholic beverage. He's passed one to David Nugent, and now he's sharing the other one with his former teammate. Supporters enjoying every moment of this, and rightly so. The Foxes join the back of the parade. Of course, all of these pictures and some of the videos we'll share on social media and the official Leicester City channels over the coming hours and days, and probably some of the back scene footage as well. There's been camera people all over King Power Stadium today, trying to capture every moment as much as we can of this occasion. Jamie Vardy very much looking like he's about to hit the plane and head to a holiday destination. And Claudio Ranieri, the Tinkerman, a very warm welcome back. Pre-match arrived and just wandered out onto the field and just took in his surroundings. And no doubt the memories came flooding back throughout that time.
Great to see some of the old teammates coming back together. Just Kasper Schmeichel and Wes Morgan just having a bit of a chat between themselves. And you have to wonder how much, with Kasper's playing career, how much they would have seen of each other over the last few years. I think this is probably something, John, they were all really looking forward to, as that being part of that squad, to just rekindle those relationships and see each other, like I say, be in the same dressing room, getting changed next to one another again.
I think the chant of sign him up was aimed towards Conrad Logan after his penalty heroics. 2 saves in the shootouts. 0-0 at full time. Leicester winning the shootout 4-2. Good to see as well some of the children of the players joining in as well. They wouldn't have been here for those special memories 10 years ago, and it'll probably take some of them, the younger ones, a few years to realise what their parents did way back when. There is a cheeky Arsenal shirt out there, but we'll forgive that for one day at least. There's a picnic bench at the side of the pitch as well. It's that kind of day. We'll also hear from some of these legends as well. We'll get some post-match interviews that we'll be sharing across the official website and across the social media channels as the players start to depart and start to rest their weary legs after a 90-minute performance for some of them less so.